I always thought marriages didn't fall apart suddenly. They cracked first, small, almost invisible fractures, long before they broke. My name doesn't matter. Hers doesn't either. What matters is that I truly believed we were happy. We had our routines. Morning coffee together, shared playlists on long drives, inside jokes nobody else understood. I thought those things meant safety, stability, love, but then, things started to feel off. It began with silence. Not the comfortable kind, the heavy kind. The kind that makes you feel like a stranger in your own home. She stopped asking about my day. Stopped laughing at my jokes. Stopped touching me without a reason. And I kept telling myself, it's work stress. That's all. I had no idea the truth was already living in our house. The first real sign came on a Sunday morning. She left her phone on the kitchen counter while taking a shower. It kept lighting up, vibrating, non-stop. One name, over and over. A man's name I'd never seen before. At first, I didn't check. I'm not the kind of guy who snoops, or at least I wasn't. But then a preview popped up. Last night was unreal. I can't stop thinking about you. My whole body froze. I didn't open the phone. I didn't need to. That single sentence already told the story. My mind started rewriting the last 3 months. The late night, work meetings. The new lingerie she said she bought, because it was on sale. The sudden obsession with going to the gym. The way she turned her phone face down every time we watched TV. Each memory slammed into me like a punch. When she stepped out of the bathroom, wrapped in a towel, humming like nothing was wrong. I felt the first real crack in my chest. Over the next week, I didn't confront her. Instead, I watched, like a ghost in my own home. I noticed. She smiled at her phone in ways she hadn't smiled at me in months. She suddenly cared about her hair every time she went to get groceries. She wore perfume to the gym, something she never did before. She guarded her phone like it was a bomb. And me? I was dissolving, quietly, slowly, pretending nothing was wrong. One night, after she fell asleep, I finally broke the last boundary I swore I'd never cross. I unlocked her phone using her birthday. There they were, hundreds of messages, not just flirty, intimate, detailed, emotional. The kind of messages you send to a person you're planning a life with, not the person you already have one with. They talked about meetings in hotels, missing each other, complaints about me, plans for a weekend trip. This weekend. A trip she told me was a spa retreat with her cousin. My hands shook so badly I could barely scroll. The worst part? She wrote things like, I've never felt this alive. I wish he understood me the way you do. That was the moment something inside me died. On Friday evening, she was packing for her spa trip. I stood in the doorway, watching her fold lingerie she never wore for me. My voice sounded unfamiliar when I asked, "Who are you going with?" She froze. Her shoulders tensed. She turned slowly. With my cousin. I told you. I nodded. Then I said her lover's name. Her face drained of color so fast it was like I watched her soul leave her body. You went through my phone?" "No," I said. "He texted you." And the phone lit up. "You can lie about a lot of things, but not that." She stuttered, tried to deny, tried to blame me, tried to twist the story. But I stayed calm, too calm. It scared her more than if I had screamed. Finally, she crumbled onto the bed and whispered, "I didn't mean for it to happen." And that line, that cliché, pathetic line, made something inside me snap. You didn't mean to cheat for 3 months? You didn't mean to book hotels? You didn't mean to plan a future with him? She cried. I didn't, because I wasn't talking to my wife anymore. Just a stranger wearing her face. The days after the confrontation were the darkest time of my life. I felt betrayed, humiliated, invisible, replaceable. I replayed every moment of our marriage and wondered when I stopped being enough. I stopped eating, stopped sleeping, stopped talking to anyone. Nights were the worst, because that's when my brain whispered things like, maybe if you were more successful, maybe if you listened more, maybe he's just better than you. Cheating doesn't just break trust. It breaks identity. She begged for forgiveness. She offered therapy, compromises, promises. I listened to every word. But here's the truth. You can rebuild a house after a storm. You can't rebuild ashes. And that's what my heart felt like, ashes. So I told her, I'm not leaving because you cheated. I'm leaving because you stopped loving me long before that. She cried again. But this time, I didn't. I packed my things. Quietly, slowly, as if moving any faster would wake up another lie. When I closed the door behind me, I didn't feel free. Not yet, but I felt something close to it. It's been months since I left. Healing wasn't instant. Some nights still hurt. Some memories still sting. But here's what I finally understand. You can be the perfect partner and still be betrayed. Someone else's choices are not your failures. Love doesn't die in one moment. It dies in neglected moments. Leaving is sometimes the bravest kind of love, the love you give yourself. I'm not the same man I was before all this. But maybe that's okay. Maybe I needed to break to rebuild myself the right way. And if anyone listening is going through something similar, here's what I'd tell you. You deserve a love that doesn't make you doubt your worth. You deserve honesty even when it's hard. You deserve someone who chooses you, every day, without hesitation. And if you're not getting that, it's okay to walk away. Even if your voice shakes. Even if your heart breaks. Even if it feels like the end. Because sometimes, the end is really just the beginning.